When the world finally grows quiet and the lights fade, something sacred begins to unfold. Your heart starts whispering truths that the noise of the day could not let you hear. It asks softly, "Am I safe? Am I loved? Is God still here with me?" And the answer, gentle as the night wind touching your skin, is yes, even when the day felt heavy, even when your thoughts would not rest, even when you carried silent pain no one else could see. God was there, quietly standing beside you. Tonight, before you close your eyes, this prayer will help you lay down what you cannot carry and let God renew your strength. It isn't just a prayer of words, it's a moment of release. Because sometimes the most powerful way to heal is to stop trying and simply rest in divine presence. As you breathe slowly, feel your heart ease into peace. Inhale calm. Exhale every weight that does not belong to you. This night is not an ending. It is a sacred return to stillness. Now, let your mind quiet down. Let your spirit listen. Let your heart open again to the one who never left. The whisper before sleep. There is a moment every night, somewhere between exhaustion and surrender, when the soul begins to speak. It is not loud, nor urgent. It is a whisper, like a candle flickering in the dark. You may not always notice it, but it's there. That quiet call from within saying, "Come back to peace. Come back to me." All day long, your mind has been running, planning, solving, remembering, worrying. Your heart has carried the weight of emotions you didn't have time to process. And now, as silence fills the room, your spirit finally has space to breathe. This is where God meets you, not in perfection, not in strength, but in stillness. He doesn't wait for you to be strong enough. He simply waits for you to pause long enough. So, as you rest your head tonight, imagine this. Every sound around you begins to fade. The air feels softer, and the rhythm of your breath becomes a quiet prayer on its own. In that sacred stillness, let your inner voice rise. Not the voice of fear or regret, but the gentle one that remembers you are never alone. You don't need to fix anything in this moment. You don't need to prove anything. You only need to listen. The whisper before sleep is not asking you to do more. It's inviting you to be, to rest inside divine presence, where peace doesn't have to be earned and love doesn't have to be deserved. Take a deep breath now. Let your shoulders relax. Feel your heartbeat slow down, like it's syncing with a higher rhythm, the heartbeat of creation itself. Somewhere in this quiet, heaven leans close, and if you listen carefully, you'll hear it. A tender whisper saying, "You made it through another day. I am here. Rest now." The weight. You carry all through the day. You've been strong. You smiled when your heart wanted to cry. You kept going when everything inside whispered, "I can't anymore." You carried the invisible, the thoughts, the fears, the worries, like heavy stones hidden behind your calm expression. But now, you don't have to carry them alone. Every soul carries a weight. For some, it's grief that never found words. For others, it's the quiet ache of uncertainty, not knowing what tomorrow will bring or why certain things had to happen. And yet, God never asked you to bear the world's weight on your shoulders. He said, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." That is not a verse for the strong. It's a promise for the tired. It's for you, right now, at the end of this long day. So before sleep takes you, pause for a moment, place your hand over your heart, whisper gently, God, I'm tired. I've been trying to hold it all together. Tonight, I give you what I can't carry. You don't need perfect words, just honesty. He understands every silence, every tear that never fell, every smile that hid pain. And in that raw surrender, grace begins to move. Imagine now that every worry in your mind is a pebble in your hand. See yourself opening your palm, letting each one fall into a river of light. That river flows straight to God, and once something is placed there, it is no longer yours to hold. You were never meant to walk through the night with such heaviness. The divine designed rest as a reminder that your strength is not the source, it's the result of trust. So as you lie there, let every muscle soften, every thought dissolve into stillness. Say quietly to yourself, I am not my pain. I am the child of a loving God who carries me through every storm. And in that whisper of truth, your spirit begins to rise again. The weight lifts, not because the world changed, but because you finally allowed heaven to hold it with you. Letting God step in. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when we realize we cannot heal ourselves by holding tighter. Control feels safe, but it also keeps the heart clenched. And a clenched heart cannot receive peace. You may have prayed before and felt nothing. You may have wondered if heaven ever really hears you. But the truth is, God never stopped listening. He was only waiting for you to open the door, to let him step in fully. Letting God step in is not about giving up. It's about giving over. It's the sacred art of release. You don't surrender because you're weak. You surrender because you are loved. So tonight, as the world quiets down, say softly in your heart, God, I've tried to do this on my own. I invite you into my thoughts, my fears, my rest. Imagine a gentle light entering your room. Soft, golden, warm. It wraps around you like a calm embrace, touching every restless part of your being. That is how grace feels. Not loud, not dramatic, but tender and real. You don't need to perform. You don't need to prove your faith. You just need to be willing. Because God steps in the moment you say, I can't, but you can. The truth is, he never asks for perfection, only permission. He wants to walk through the tangled places of your mind, to untie the knots of anxiety, to clear the dust from forgotten dreams. If you could see yourself through divine eyes right now, you would see beauty, not because of what you've done, but because of who you are. A soul that tries, that hopes, that keeps showing up even in the dark. Take a deep breath and imagine the weight leaving your chest. Every exhale is a letting go. Every inhale, a welcoming of peace. You are not empty. You are being filled again with strength that doesn't come from effort, but from presence. Letting God step in means letting love be bigger than your fear. It means trusting that even the silence tonight is holy, a space where healing begins to unfold. So, as you close your eyes, whisper, God, I let you in. Be my calm, be my rest, be my peace. And in that moment, heaven draws near, quietly, faithfully, endlessly. The prayer of release. There is a kind of prayer that doesn't ask for anything. It simply lets go. It doesn't try to convince God. It just opens space for Him to move. That is the prayer of release. You've carried so much through the day, the conversations that lingered, the things left undone, the worries that never rest. But before this day ends, there's one sacred invitation. Let it all fall at His feet. Find a quiet rhythm in your breathing now. Inhale deeply. Exhale slowly. Feel the tension begin to melt from your shoulders, your hands, your heart. And when you're ready, whisper these words, not as repetition, but as surrender. God, I release what I cannot hold. I release the mistakes I made today, the thoughts that drained my peace, and the pain I tried to carry alone. I give you my fears, my disappointments, my confusion. Fill the space they leave with your calm, your strength, your light. Stay here for a moment. Let silence answer you, because sometimes silence is God's answer. You may feel warmth move through your body, or a deep stillness spreading inside. That is grace, the energy of divine presence, wrapping you in peace that words can't define. Understand this. When you release, you are not losing control. You are making room for miracles. You are shifting from survival to surrender, from fear to faith. Every tear you've cried in secret has already been seen. Every question you whispered into the dark has already reached heaven. And tonight, God is not asking you to be strong. He's asking you to rest in His strength. Imagine His hands beneath you now, invisible but real, holding your tired soul. Every heartbeat slows in His rhythm. Every thought softens in His light. And if the mind tries to wander, gently bring it back with this truth. I am safe. I am loved. I am held. Let this prayer be your release. Let this night be your renewal. Let this breath be your peace. Renewal in the stillness. There is a sacred mystery that happens only in the stillness. When all the noise fades and your soul finally stops running. It is in that quiet space that renewal begins. The world often teaches us that rest is a reward, something we earn after doing enough. But in the language of the divine, rest is not a reward. It is a commandment of love. A way for heaven to say, you don't have to keep fighting. I've got you now. When you allow stillness to enter, you are not being lazy. You are being reborn. Every cell, every breath, every thought begins to realign with the frequency of peace. It's like the ocean after a storm. The waves calm, but the depths remain full of life. Tonight, your body may be tired, but your spirit is quietly rebuilding. God is working in the unseen places, restoring what worry took, renewing what fear drained, and rebuilding what pain once broke. You may not feel it instantly, but renewal is not always loud. Sometimes it arrives in the form of a deep sigh, or a tear you didn't expect, or the sudden thought, maybe I can try again tomorrow. That's how grace heals, gently, steadily, completely. Take a slow, sacred breath now. As you inhale, imagine golden light entering your chest. Warm, healing, alive. As you exhale, release all heaviness from the day. Let your breathing become a rhythm of renewal. In with peace, out with release. In this stillness, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to pray perfectly or think clearly. You just need to be present, because God meets you exactly where you are, not where you think you should be. And as your thoughts soften and your body relaxes, imagine His presence surrounding you like gentle light. It moves through every corner of your being, whispering, "Rest now. I am renewing your strength. You are safe in me. You don't have to understand how healing happens. Just trust that it does. The night itself is proof that every ending carries a promise of beginning. The darkness isn't here to consume you. It's here to cradle you until morning. So, let your spirit settle into this peace. Let your heart whisper one last time before sleep. I am being renewed in stillness. I am being made whole again. Your spirit in God's hands. There is a quiet truth that holds more power than any sermon. You are not alone tonight. Even when your room feels empty, even when your heart feels fragile, your spirit rests safely in the hands of God. He has held you from the very beginning. Every breath, every step, every moment when you thought you wouldn't make it. His presence never left. And now, as you prepare to close your eyes, He draws even closer. Picture this. You're lying in a soft, glowing light that feels both familiar and eternal. It surrounds you, moves through you, and settles deep in your chest. That is God, the eternal calm in the chaos, the silent strength beneath your fear. When you place your spirit in His hands, you are saying, I trust you more than my worry. I rest in you more than in my understanding. It's a sacred exchange. Your fear for His peace, your exhaustion for His renewal, your restlessness for His stillness. So, say these words gently now. God, I place my spirit in your hands. Hold me through this night. Protect my mind from fear, my heart from sorrow, my dreams from darkness. Let your peace be my covering, and your love be my light. Feel that prayer settle in your soul like a seed of peace. It doesn't need to be forced. It simply is. You might not see what tomorrow holds, but the one who holds you tonight already does. And He's not worried. He's not rushed. He's simply present, completely and lovingly here. If the night feels long, remember, even in darkness, you are surrounded by divine protection. No shadow can reach you when you rest in God's light. Visualize yourself now within a circle of light, soft, golden, endless. Every time a fear arises, it touches the edge of that light and dissolves into peace. Nothing can harm what God holds. And so, as you drift toward sleep, whisper once more, my spirit is safe, my heart is protected, my rest is holy. Let your final thoughts be of gratitude, not for what changed, but for what stayed. God's presence, constant and unshaken. You are not falling asleep into darkness. You are falling into the hands of love itself. Closing blessing and night ritual. Before you drift fully into sleep, let this final moment be sacred, a gentle bridge between your world and the divine. You've walked through the day's weight, opened your heart, and released what no longer serves you. Now it is time to rest, not just your body, but your being. God is near. You don't have to search for Him. He is already here, sitting quietly beside your soul. In this silence, He is doing what He does best, restoring, healing, and renewing from the inside out. So take a slow breath in and exhale softly. Each breath is a prayer. Each heartbeat is an amen. Now, whisper these words, your final prayer of the night. God, thank you for this day, for the moments that made me smile, and for the ones that tested my faith. Thank you for never leaving me, even when I felt lost. Tonight, I surrender it all into your hands. Renew my strength while I sleep. Guard my dreams with your peace. Let my heart wake tomorrow full of calm, clarity, and quiet joy. Let these words wrap around you like a soft blanket of faith. There's nothing else you need to do. The world can wait. Tonight belongs to peace. Now, as a small night ritual, place your hand over your heart and imagine a gentle golden light glowing beneath your palm. This is the symbol of God's presence within you, eternal, steady, and pure. As you breathe, visualize that light expanding, filling your chest, your mind, your entire room. Every corner, every shadow, every worry is touched by that divine glow. You are safe. You are seen. You are loved beyond measure. And as you prepare to rest, remember this truth. The same God who painted the stars will stand watch over you until morning. You can let go. You can rest. You can trust. So, close your eyes now and let peace take the final word. Let sleep become a sacred meeting, your heart resting in the hands of the one who never sleeps. Be still and know that I am God. Good night. May your dreams be light. May your rest be deep. And may your soul wake renewed, ready to begin again, in faith, in peace, in light.